Hello friends, how are you all? Welcome to our jQuery video tutorial. Today let's explore jQuery get and set methods which help you retrieve and update HTML elements, content, attribute and properties. Let's get started. So first of all, what are jQuery get and set methods? So jQuery provides method to get and set content, attributes and properties of an HTML elements. Now you can see here is the get methods. It's retrieve contents, attributes or values. Now here is the set method. It's modify or update content, attributes or values. So why use jQuery get and set methods? So first of all, shorter syntax than vanilla JS. Then the modify multiple elements in one line. And the last one is dynamically update web page content in a real time. Now here is the jQuery get methods. So first we have text method. It gets the text content of an element. Now the second one is HTML method. It gets the HTML content inside an element. Then the third one is a value method. Gets the value for forms inputs. Now the last one is attribute element. It gets the attributes values like href, src, alternative attribute or etc. Now you can see here is the first one is a get text content. Now we use text method here. Now it's retrieve only the text content inside an element, ignores HTML tags. Now here is the example, get the text inside a paragraph. Now you can see here is the syntax which have get text button id, then click functions here. Now here we use a alert box, and inside the alert box we use text method. Now what happens when the clicking the button show an alert with the paragraph text? Now we open in our code editor. Now you can see here we have one paragraph tag and one button tag. Then you can see here is the jQuery code. Now here we use a text method. When I click on this button, now you can see here is our text. This is a sample paragraph with bold text. Now the second one, get HTML content. We use here HTML method. Now you can see here it's retrieve the inner HTML including HTML tag. Now here is the example, get HTML content inside a div. Now you can see here is the jQuery code. Now you can see we use here click function. Now you can see here we use a alert box, and inside the alert box we use HTML method. Now we open in our code editor. Now here we use a paragraph tag, and here we use a button tag. Then here we use a jQuery code. Now you can see we use document.ready functions. Now here we use click function. Now here we use alert box, and inside the alert box we use HTML method. So what happened, when I clicking the button shows an alert the div HTML content. Now you can see if we click on this button, now you can see here we have this is a strong bold strong paragraph p. Now you can see here strong p, it's give me only HTML tags. Now the third one is get input value. Well, it's have a value method. Now it's retrieves the value of forms inputs like text field. So here is the example. Now you can see here get the value enter in a text box. Now here we use click functions, alert box, and inside the alert box we use value method. Now we open our code editor here. Now you can see here we use a label, then we use an input field. Now the last one is a button. Now here we use a jQuery code. We use click function. Inside the click function we use alert box, and inside the alert box we use value method. Now what happens when I clicking this button, it show an alert with the text inside the input value field. Now you can see here we type here Amir and click on button. Now you can see here what is the input value is Amir is shown in this alert box. Now the fourth one is get attribute value. It's have attribute value. method. Now you can see it's retrieve the value of an attribute like href, src or alternative and etc etc. Now here is the example, get the href of a link. Now you can see here we use a click functions. Now inside the click function we use alert box. Inside the alert box we use attribute method. Now we open in our code editor. Now you can see here what we have. We have a link which have id attribute, href attribute and target attribute. Href attribute we have a url. Now you can see here, or then we have here a button which have get link url. Now you can see here is the jQuery code. Here we use a click function. Inside the click function we use alert box, and inside the alert box we use attribute method. Now what happens when I clicking on this button, it show an alert with the url of the link. Now you can see it's give me a url which is inside the href tag. I can see it's give me https www.google.com. Now if we want another attribute, like we want target, now you can see, then when I click on this, so it's give me a target value like blank. If we want id here, so here we use id attribute, it's give me id attribute value. Now you can see here what is my link, it's give me a my link. Let's see the jQuery set method. So here is the first, it's a text method, like it sets new text content inside an element. And the next one is html method, it sets a new html content inside an element. Then value method, it sets new value inside form inputs. And the last one is attribute method, it sets new attribute values like href, src etc. Now you can see here is the first method, like set text content. Now we use here text method, it's replace the existing text inside an element. Here is the example, change the text of a paragraph. Now you can see here is the syntax. Here we use a click functions. Inside the click function we use a text method. Inside the text method we have this is a new text content. Now we open in our code editor. Now you can see here we have a paragraph tag. Now here we have a one button. Inside the paragraph we have this is the original text. Now you can see here we have here text method which contain this is a new text. Now what happens when I clicking on this button, it's replace the paragraph text with the new content. Now if we click on this, now you can see when we are written in here, it's shown after the clicking. Now if we change the text here, now you can see when I click on this button, it's give me Amir Sheikh. Now the second is set HTML content HTML. We use here HTML method. It's replace the inner HTML of an element. Example, it's change the content inside a div. Now you can see here is the syntax. Now you can see here we use a click functions. Inside the click function we use HTML method. Here we use a bold tag with content like new bold content. Now we open in our code editor. Now you can see here we have div id box, and it's have this is the original content. Now you can see here we use a button which have changed HTML. Now you can see here we use our click functions. Inside the click function we use HTML method. Now what happens when I clicking the button, it's replace the concept inside the div with the bold text. Now you can see it's give me a bold tag like new bold content. Now the third is set input value. We use here value method. Now you can see it changes the value of a form input field. Here is the example. Set a new value inside a text box. Here is the syntax. Now you can see here we use a click function and here we use a value method which have John Doe. Now we open in our code editor. Now you can see here we use a input field and here we use a button tag. Now you can see we use here inside the input field type text id name input and we use a placeholder like enter your name. Now you can see here is the jQuery syntax and here we use a click function. Inside the click function we use value method and inside the value method we use John Doe. So what happens here, when I clicking the button it fills the input field with John Doe. Now you can see here we type anything. When I click on this set name I can see it's give me a John Doe. If we use here front name like Amir, now you can see here when I click on this button it's give me a value like Amir Sheikh. Now the last one is set attribute value. We use here attribute method. Now you can see it's change attribute values like HR, href, src and etc. Now here is the example. Change the href of a link. Now you can see here we use here a click function. Inside the click function we use a attribute method. Now we open in our code editor. Now you can see here we have a anchor tag. We use anchor tag for link. Now you can see here we have id, here we have href attribute which contain https and here we use a target which have blank value and inside the blank anchor tag we have visit example content. Now you can see here is the button which have change link. Now here is my script tag. Now you can see here is our jQuery code. Now when here is the click functions. Now inside the click functions we have attribute method and here we have a text method like visit Google. Here is the visit example and here we use a visit Google. Now you can see what happened here. When I clicking the button it changes the link URL. Now you can see we click on this. Now you can see it's changed into visit Google. Now when I go it's shown a Google tab. Now if we refresh this, now when I go on a visit example directly, now you can see so open an example. Now look at this. So when I click on this button, now you can see its text will be changed to visit Google and its link also be a change. Now we open in a new tab. Now you can see here is the Google tab. Now let's talk about the conclusion. So first of all, text method, HTML method, value method and attribute method are used to get and set content. Attribute method can modify attributes like href, src, alternative, etc. These methods helps dynamically updates content on a web page. If you have any questions, feel free to ask in the comments. Keep smiling and happy coding. Thank you.